Hi there, thanks for tuning in the studio doing a little video on makeup I would put on to go to town in. And yeah, I'm going out for lunch with my mum, so I've just mixed up a little bit of foundation on my hand using the YSL All Hours, which I really love actually. I'm going to go and buy some more of that today, and some of the Becca Rose Gold Liquid Illuminator, so it just gives it a little bit more glow, but also I love that illuminator because it stays on so well. Some of the other ones just kind of slide off your face, whereas this one really stays a lot longer, and if I'm putting makeup on I want it to last all day long, as you probably know. So I'm using my little stubby foundation brush, which I've just mixed a little bit of foundation onto, and this is just so nice for just really working it in to the skin. It's just such a lovely way to do your makeup. I do the slightly fuller foundation brush as well, the round one, which is a little bit kind of fuller, maybe faster, but I quite like the preciseness of this one. I sort of feel that the flat foundation brushes I just don't use at all anymore. Yeah, hopefully I've mixed up enough. So yeah, I just kind of do a lightish covering of foundation, and then I just go back in with the concealers and touch up any areas that might need a little bit more. So yeah, foundation on, and I had my eyebrows microbladed in December, so I'm absolutely loving it. I'm loving my brows being kind of on already. Yeah, if I'm going out, I'll probably, you know, evening out, I'll probably touch them up a little bit more. But yeah, I think, you know, for the day, dropping things, they're absolutely, yeah, they're absolutely spot on. So just going back in with a little concealer. I love these MAC, they come with a little cushion sponge. The shade NW20, I think it's called the Moisture Blend Cover Concealer, and I would just tap it in with my ring finger. And it's so hydrating around the eye area, super hydrating, and it just gives a really nice coverage. It's like, you know, at least a step or two more than the say like a Touche Eclat, but obviously not as full as a full cover. I do love a full cover on the skin though, so I'd use a separate one on the skin. Again, just going in with the finger. I always especially do around the nose. I think this kind of gives you a bit of a lift here. Any blemishes, I need to waken up with one here this morning, and yeah, it just completely blocks out any imperfections. Boom, gone. So most of the base on, I'm just going to leave it kind of damp and not set it until after I've done the eyes. I might be tempted to go in with a bit of something with a bit of a glow, just to give me a boost, give me a lift. MAC Mineralize, it's like a quad and it's like got a glow to it. So using my Skunk blush, just, yeah, to glow up the cheeks. Show how well you can see that in there. And it just bounces the light off. It's got some sheen, and I'm like, yeah, I feel better putting that on, definitely. I'm using Victoria Beckham bronzer, a friend of mine gave me at the moment, which I also love. The packaging is insanely heavy, so it's not going to be leaving the house, but it's a really lovely shade. So yeah, I just contour in with the bronzer, just under the cheekbones, under the neckline, set that in there. Neck's always a little bit paler, so I'd definitely buff that in. I'm gonna have to go over that spot again. And so, yeah. So to start the eyes, I always use a base like this MAC pot, paint pot. Again, fingers, ring finger. And I would make sure I've not got any moisture on the eyelid. So this really clings and really stays. And it just, this on its own is just a really lovely product for eyeshadow. It was like just great as eyeshadow really. It comes in lots of colours. I'm gonna go buy some new ones of these today. There's a shade called Paint Elite that's really pretty if you're pale. This is laying low, it's a bit more beigey. A little bit of a, actually hardly any tan left, but tiny bit more of a tan than I had in December. Lash curler, totally would not leave the house without doing this. Like, if there was one thing I do before I went to the shop, it would be, excuse me, to curl up the lashes. Look at that, it's so much difference. It just looks so much longer. Now I'm loving these long lash shade sticks. Kiko. This was a gift from my friend again. She knows I love makeup. And this is quite a dark, but I like it because what it does is it's so quick and easy, and it's gonna stay. And I just literally pop it on, and then take a biggish brush, my flat lid brush. It's quite firm. I just pull it down into the lash line, and it's almost just like a smoky kind of base. It's kind of almost enough on its own, really. I'm not going to leave it there. I'm going to go a little bit more, and just automatic smoky eye. For under the eye, I'd go something skinnier. This is Kiko again. They're great. I love their liners. And so many colours. This is like a grey, minky grey. Wearing grey today, feeling a bit pale. So my phone's giving me notifications. Underneath I would use the little smudge to just make sure that's softened in, move right into the lashes. Excuse me. And I'm going to do the socket today with this Clinique eyeshadow, which I've had for a while. It's just a mid, pretty, I think it's called Bronze Satin Brown. I've had it a while. Using the socket brush and just back and forth, and I could bring it up onto the bone, and it just really like pushes back a bit, and then just gives you some more drama on the eyes, sort of brings the eyes out. Okay, do a bit more, and then maybe I might add a little bit of light actually. I feel like I've gone maybe a little smoky with the lid. I've gone in the wrong shade. This shade. I love these quads from MAC. You can choose your own colours. This one is Patina. I mean, Patina like would suit everybody. It's not too light, it's not too dark, it's just a lovely lid shade. So yeah, just lightened up the lids with that. And I'm gonna, I'm Glossier gel blushes. Dreamy blushes. And they are so just beautiful, really. So yeah, I'm going to use the multi-use, the little flat top one, and yeah, like literally just squidge it on, and then where your apples are, just buff it on top, so it knocks back the glow of the bronzer a little, but I think it just like looks dewy and youthful. A little bit pinky, you know, and if you have gone too far, you can always take it out with the foundation. I sometimes like to go back in with a third bronzer, which would be this. I'm using Nude by Nature, the collection. It's like an organic brand, which I got from Debenhams, but I don't know if Debenhams. Don't know if there is a Debenhams, going to be a Debenhams for much longer. Yeah, and this is just the perfect shade. I really love the Chanel one they do in the pot. It's just a little bit too light, and I find like texture too light, colour too light. For me, and I'm not that dark, this for me gives a little bit more depth. So yeah, literally on the bone, just under. Wonderful. Looking better already. So mascara, last layer, well apart from lippy. I really like to, if you've had your makeup done by me, you'll know I like to do a clear mascara first. And this just separates. I don't know if you've ever got your lashes wet, but when you get your lashes wet and then put your mascara on, it kind of goes on really fluidy. I like a separated lash because I have full lashes. So I'm using Endless Lash by Rimmel, which I just adore. I adore lots of mascaras, to be honest. But for me, for an everyday, this is amazing because it just separates them out. Because they're full already, yeah. And the clear mascara underneath just helps it go on, it glide on. Gliding on and separating up. you know, if I was doing an evening look, I'd probably go for something a bit fuller, using a Lancome Volume Apporter, maybe more for the evening. Takes a little bit of time mascara, it's worth doing properly. What's happened to this side? It's sort of separated into different sections recently. Might come back to them. And then to set everything with I'm using a block. I'm using block powder at the moment. So for powder, I don't like too much powder. I like enough powder that it's going to stay on. Gonna need to conceal the spot again. Gone. Yeah, and with this, I'd really set like this. That needs to stay for me. That needs to stay, you know, but I don't want to flatten anywhere else. So I think this brush is big enough. You could probably even use a smaller brush if you wanted. Yeah. And then for lips, these Longwear, these were some of the first ones. The Jouer Longwear lip. Yeah, I've just got a bit of 8 Hour balm on the lips at the moment. It's really lovely. I love that. So yeah, with this, it's going to be a bit softer because of the balm. It's probably not going to stay as well, but on a really dry lip, this sets for England. It will not budge. And because it's quite matte, what I've lost on the floor. I would put this on over the top. She's coming to the end now. Charlotte Tilbury's Yum Yum Lip Collagen Refresh Rose. What a cute little applicator. To gloss it up, plump it up my lips anyway. Voila.